Hello and welcome to Mooks and Monsters. I'm Rob Ward.
And I'm Tim Niederreiter. And this is, well, I forget what episode this is. I think it's the 130 of the podcast. Yes.
And today we're going to do something a little different. We're playing a game on the show today. Tim, why don't you describe what this game is?
So this game is like a mecha giant robot military sci-fi game. Does that make sense to everybody? Well, maybe not. Basically, Rob is going to take the role of a pilot of a giant robot that fights in outer space. And he is going to be on a mission, a military-style mission with this giant robot and his pilot. All right. It's the future, outer space, spaceships, portals, that kind of thing, between star systems. And yeah, and Rob will be portraying one of the characters, of course, as we do in RPGs. And we are going to go forward. This is going to be probably a one-shot session, so don't worry that you don't need to know anything going into this, and you probably won't need to know anything going out of it. Just enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And just full disclosure, I have never played this game before. And
never seen the rules either.
And this is a pre-generated character that Tim created, so I might get a little lost here, but we'll see it. We'll wing it.
Yeah, we're going to see how well we can do this by the seat of our pants, collectively, because we each wear different pairs of pants. Anyway, all right. So, Rob, what's your character's name?
His name is Ambrose Singh. He is a viral shifter, which means he's some like kind of a sort of shapeshifter.
Yeah.
He's choleric, deceptive, resilient, and a veteran. And he has a mech called Aberoth.
Right, and his mech is capable of flying between solar systems using the faster than light drive, unlike most mechs in the setting. So it's very much used for stealth and special operations kind of stuff. And that's where we join him, actually. Singh and Aberoth have been dispatched to infiltrate a rogue star system and destroy a power plant there on one of the planets. Now, this is not a usual task for a giant killing robot. For Aberoth, even though he is kind of a wetworks kind of robot, obviously being able to travel between stars without the aid of a portal, unlike most ships. So you've snuck into the star system as another piece of flying debris, probably hanging out in near one of the planets by now. But the Aberoth is a stealthy little robot, whatever. Let's just say robot, stealthy little Titan for a Titan, and is now hanging in orbit over the target planet, we'll say. And you can scan below and look out for space stations and the like before you try to make your approach.
All right. What are the enemy defensive capabilities?
They're likely to have they have a regiment of Titans at their disposal. That is to say, more mechs, more robots, and that's a lot of mechs. So you can't really fight them directly. That's at least not all at once. So the other thing about Aberoth is it's mostly good at close ranged combat. So you don't want to end up crossing paths with any of their ships, because they do have the larger capital ships. There's at least 2 of those in the system. Okay. And you won't be able to do much to them unless you get really close. And that's kind of difficult because they'll blow you to pieces if they detect you first.
Am I hanging around in the orbit right now?
Yes, you are. You're in a debris. Let's say you're in an old debris cloud. So that you're pretty safe here. This is the safe point, and you just kind of drifted in on low power. So you've probably been here for a few hours, or been in the system for a few hours, and you've been in the cloud for as long as feel free to stay here.
Okay. How long will it take this cloud to orbit to the other side of the planet?
Let's say about half an hour. It's a fast-moving cloud. It's fast. It's moving fast in orbit.
Okay.
You can match pace with it or leave it at any time.
Because what I intend to do is I'm going to ride this cloud to the other side, and I'm going to start kind of chucking debris into the atmosphere of the planet.
Yeah.
Causing a distraction in which I can go back and then blow up the thing.
Sure. So you're going to go around to the opposite side of the planet, to another part of the planet from where your target is, and then cause distraction. Okay.
Have a distraction going on.
Great. All right. I don't think there's any need to roll for that, so we're gonna you wait patiently until you're on the other side of the planet, and it is about night there, and you see targets below. Do you want to hurl at a city, or it is a settled planet? Do you want to hurl at any cities or military bases or anything like that? You can target them from this distance, we'll say.
I think I should be indiscriminate, so it seems more like a
natural disaster.
Like a natural disaster, and thus, they're going to have to be used at a humanitarian, so their guard's a little down.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe one at the hospital, one at the church, one at the pet store, one at just
and one just on the bay.
Pretty arbitrary.
Yeah. Okay. Just so you hurl a few pieces of debris, and it takes them a little while to get going, but then when they fall, your targeting system has allowed them to hit pretty close to your original goal points. So let's see. I don't think there's any need to roll because you're not really trying to hit anything in particular. So yeah, you track the explosions on the ground, the huge clouds of dust and debris flying into the air, because even though you're throwing small pieces of debris, obviously the falling from orbit is not good, and it provides a lot of momentum for them. So yeah, you've created a miniature impact event across one side of the planet, more or less. Not even the whole side, but like across one region. All right. And as the cloud moves on, and you see, and actually, let me make a fortune check for you here. Well, as it happens, you basically the cloud is moving fast, but you notice that that there's a scout ship, it's a very small ship, one that's not terribly dangerous. It's more like a patrol, like shuttle kind of thing. And it is detected that the cloud that you're in probably was the source of the projectiles, and scanning the cloud. But luckily, this cloud. Oh, just one thing I should say. Luckily, this cloud is made of metal debris, so they may not detect you even if they scan it. Yeah, what do you want to do?
But am I a different type of metal?
Well, it depends, and that'll be another luck check basically that I'll roll for you if you choose to stay in the cloud and get scanned.
Yeah, I think because I'm a stealthy dude, I'm gonna duck out of this cloud.
All right, so that's roll 2d10, and yeah, just add them together.
All right, 12.
12. So you managed to get out of the cloud without being detected. They scan the cloud behind you, and you can see the signal that on your radar. Basically, you're scanning. You pick up the signal that they have just scanned the debris cloud, and they obviously aren't going to find anything because you're no longer in it. You managed to drift away from the planet a little ways and get out of their sight, their sensor range.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, and you can follow the orbit of the planet again to get back to where you need to be.
I'm gonna
or whatever, do whatever you want.
I think I'm going to kind of follow that orbit, go back to where I need to be, and yeah.
All right. So now it's night on this side of the planet when you arrive there, and
awesome.
you're hovering in orbit. You can descend it whenever you want to. Of course, when you descend, that will probably prompt some people noticing you, but that the trick is to not be noticed by the authorities of the base you're going to be blowing up, or the power plant you're attacking.
All right. Well, so I guess can I scan the planet to make sure that the enemy's military capacity is kind of out of this region?
Sure, you can scan, and you can use you can track their communications and stuff from here too.
Nice.
So if you want to tap into any communications, you probably can because of your mech's
okay. Should I roll for that?
Yeah, I think you should roll 2d10.
All right, 10.
Okay, so thanks to and we're going to add your veteran ability to this because this is the kind of thing that commandos do. So you get so that's a 12. So now you have you've detected a number of communications going around, mostly on the other around the other horizon of the planet where you drop the debris. There's definitely some scrambling going on. It seems, and the power plant below appears to be unguarded except for a trio of heavy mechs, basically, that are on patrol there. That probably won't get pulled because they're the minimum required defenses.
Hmm.
It
All
seems
right.
the power plant is still under guard, but they're not all in one place either. They're not traveling as one group. They're at positions around the perimeter.
Okay. They'll probably. Um, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to figure out a way to descend into the planet and pick them off one by one. So,
Okay. Yeah.
which one seems the farthest away?
Of the mechs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they're all pretty close to. They're pretty close together, really. Even though the power plant is big, it isn't that big compared to the planet. If you know what I mean. They're all within a couple miles of each other.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Um,
And though you could descend somewhere else and then make your way on the ground, and then they probably won't notice you as easily.
yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So basically, we're looking at a map here, just so you can give you some options of where you want to descend.
Mm-hmm.
The power plant is near the sea. There's a sea on one side and kind of a city that leads off and that's off adjacent to it,
Mm-hmm.
to the power plant on the other side of the sea. You know what I mean? Not on the other side of the sea, on the other side of the power plant from the water. There you go. And then there's kind of a grazing land on this south of the power plant and north of the power plant. So those are your options. You go west, you get to the sea. You go east, you get to the city, and then there's 2 areas of grazing land or farmland.
All right. So I'm between the water and the city, and
Your mech can handle water, by the way. You could get into the water if you want to. But the grazing land is probably gonna leave you a little exposed, but there's still tree lines and stuff there. It's just kind of And your mech, like, just put things in perspective. Your Titan is about 60 feet tall.
60 feet tall. Okay. Where are the other schmoes at this time?
The guards.
Yeah, the mechs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of them. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for asking that question. So one of them is patrolling the route to the city. Basically, there's a highway that goes to the power, or a road that goes from the power plant to the city into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
If you go past the power plant, and then there's another, and it's a big highway, but it's night and there's not many vehicles on it because the sea is there's only a little town on the edge of the sea, so there's not much there at this juncture in this area. And then you have then the other mechs are watching the grazing land,
Mm-hmm.
and one is watching the town by the sea. So one to the north, one to the west, one to the east. So the area of the farmland to the south is more or less unmonitored at this point.
Okay. I think I'm gonna drop into south of the town, quite a while away south of the sea,
Okay.
south of the town in the sea,
Sure.
by the sea.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna plunge into the water and I'm gonna look for a ship.
Okay. So you make a piloting check to descend quietly.
Okay.
So 2d10.
I'm gonna tap deceptive for this.
Sure. Good call. Roll another d10 and add that in.
All right, there we go. That's that's 14.
Okay, that's good. And with your veteran ability, that's 16. So now you managed to get into the water, at least you haven't noticed anyone detecting you, and you're pretty sure you did it right. So you slip into the sea, and you start looking for a boat, and you do see there's some fishing boats out, but there's big trawlers mostly. Though they're mostly low flying hovercraft type vehicles, so they're not really watercraft. They can go on land. They can travel on land a little bit, but
okay.
Yeah.
Is there any that are unmanned at the moment?
Oh, like at the dock?
Yeah, like dock.
Yes, there are, because it's night. Yeah, it's night. So most of them are actually there.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one.
Okay, like a smaller boat kind of thing.
Yeah, like a smaller boat, and how far can I throw this thing north?
Not that far. I mean, not in the scheme of things, but you could go underwater, tug it with you, and then throw it out of the water somewhere.
All right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna descend back into the water, go north, pop out. So I'm north of the little town, and I'm gonna chuck it into the field.
Okay.
and then double back and attack this power plant.
Yeah, so through the farmland or from the sea directly to the power plant kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one. All right. So you hurl the boat onto dry land, and actually, and let me see. Let me just make a fortune roll here. Well, you set off an alarm at a farmhouse near the shore, or a ranch near the shore, but they don't notice you before you slip away. They just notice the boat because it landed on their land.
Wonderful.
And you can see lights coming on in the house, and you can actually track if you're paying attention, which you are probably paying attention. We'll say you can track their communications as they call for emergency assistance from the town. So they're calling the cops basically because they don't know what happened.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The people in the ranch. All right. So you double back, and now you're approaching the shoreline, right outside, like say south of the little town, but on the right next to the power plant, basically.
Cool.
And, yeah. Anything you want to do before you break the surface and go onto land?
Scan once more for enemies. See if they're going that way.
Okay, so you've noticed that the enemy who was closest to that perimeter, the north one, has moved off, but the one by the sea is still watching the road leading to the town because presumably they're still worried about it.
All right.
There's one.
I'm gonna go for.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna try to do a sneak attack on this guy.
Okay, so make a stealth check. That's more piloting, and you can get deceptive for it for free. We'll say so. 3d10.
All right. 20.
Big money. Okay, you managed to get very close to this mech, and it does not detect you. Presumably because it's scanning toward the town. Actually, you detect its scans heading toward the town, and in atmosphere scans aren't nearly as effective, so that they don't find you at all. So you can you get close, and how do you want to make the sneak attack? Unarmed or with your heavy weapon?
I think I'm gonna go for the heavy weapon and just cleave this motherfucker in two.
Okay, so roll 2d10s, both face dice. They both count, yeah. So,
all right, 9.
Okay, so 9 plus your executioner, so 11. Okay, so and plus another from your sneak attack. So you managed to hit the mech, but it's not serious damage. You inflicted some. Well, I mean, it's not serious, but you managed to damage it slightly. Mm-hmm. So so it turns towards you, and that's the surprise round, basically. If we want to use D&D terminology here. Mm-hmm. So this mech is now damaged. It probably has 2 hit points left. You dealt 1.
Okay.
No, you dealt 2, so there's 1 left because you sneak attack gets an extra damage. So it's alien, that's for sure. And now you should roll. Let me see. Roll a d10 and add just 1 d10 and add 2.
3.
And 3 total.
Yep.
Oh boy. Well, you still beat him. Actually, you still get the next move. So you want to attack again, or?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try to.
Yeah.
Use my blade again.
Okay.
5.
Only 5. Well, you definitely missed that time. He ducks the sweep of the blade, and then retreats, readying a rifle, like a mech rifle.
Okay.
But you also can tell that he's starting to communicate. So do you want to try? But you do have improved countermeasures on your mech. So if you stay close, and you will be close enough because this is close as in space close, right? So you're pretty close to him by that standard. You can jam his communications with a successful 2d10.
All right, I'm gonna jam his communications.
Yeah.
All right, 18.
Okay, yeah, you got. He's not getting any messages out. You probably fried his communicator as well.
Wonderful.
So but then he takes a shot at you, and that's going to alert at least the other mech on the other side of the perimeter because it's a loud shot. It's a standard giant gun. However, his shot, but his rifle shot does hits your mech's armor, but deflects and scatters into the forest around you or to the trees near the shore. So you're fine, and now it's your turn again.
All right, I think I'm going to I'm going to kind of double. I'm going to try to like bounce into the perimeter of the power plant, so they all have to come and get me there.
Oh, good idea. Yeah. Okay. So that won't require checks. You're just moving fast, basically. Into
Yep,
the power
just go boing.
Yep, jump into there. So now you're
Yeah,
in the power plant's a mess, a tangle of power conduits and towers and stuff. Obviously, a lot of it will be pretty explosive. So any fighting in there will probably be a point to your mission, basically. If they miss anyway, and one would expect that most of the shots are going to be fired. So they probably won't be able to come in with guns. That's the main thing, because they don't want to destroy this place. So so you get in there and you can. Do you want to do anything like hide, or you just want to kind of wait for them, kind of thing? Take cover, but I'd assume anyway.
I'm wondering if there's an opportunity. I have the skill called Nuclear Cavalier. What does that do?
That allows you to overheat your mech to deal additional damage and get other abilities. Basically, there's a couple things you can do with it, but mostly it's just getting extra damage. And
sure. Can I use my countermeasures to start the plant to kind of go into some sort of meltdown?
Yeah, sure. You could, and that's more of a computer thing, but you can definitely try to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could get you could get an edge from your countermeasures if you find the right place to do it, though.
Sure.
By disrupting their communications or whatever.
I think I'm gonna scan the area and look for that.
Okay, so that's a 2d10 plus. That's about
it. 4.
Okay, so this turn you didn't locate any of it. So okay. You're communicate, and then you notice your sensors are being and part of the trouble is that your sensors are being jammed by the location of all these heat sources and stuff. So it'll take you a little while for your mech to adjust to that. But you could try again next turn. So the other mechs, the mech that went off to the north is on its way back, but it won't be there for a while. The one coming from the other one is moving in from the highway to the east, and then the one from at the seaside. The one that you already attacked is basically draws a short, like a mech knife, and hunts its way and moves cautiously into the perimeter of the power plants, hunting around the towers for you. Do you want to hide from it, or do you want to let it find you?
Well, because I'm Mr. Sneaky Sneak, I'm gonna try to ambush him.
Okay. All right, so make it it's stealth plus deceptive, so 3 then.
Oh, okay. 17.
Okay, so the other pilot was a little brash, even when he was trying to be cautious, and he gets close to you without noticing that you're hiding behind one of the coolant towers. Probably. Well, in the haze of heat given off by it, he won't notice you until you make a move.
All right, I am going to. I'm going to clobber him again with my blade.
I should have asked this the first time, but do you want to try to overheat first? You get that option anytime you attack.
No, I don't need to.
Okay, go ahead then. Yeah, you just attack.
All right. And do I get deceptive on that as well?
I don't think so. We're just going to get... You're going to get execution on it, though, so plus 2.
16.
Okay, your sword cleaves the mech in twain, because that's how you describe it. And it falls in half, and starts sparking, and you manage to dart out of the way before it explodes.
Oh, it explodes.
Yeah, the mech blew up, and it's going to take. And it took let me see. Let's see how much damage it deals to this. Whoopsie daisy, dropped a die. Never mind. It manages to deal 10 points. 2 points of damage to the power plant. So let's just say you probably need like 10 to destroy the power plant completely.
Okay.
It took out a good chunk of this cooling tower that you were hiding behind.
Is there any remnants of the mech?
Yes, there is. There's bits of it left over because the mechs are built very tough. About the top half didn't explode. The bottom half did.
Okay, I'm gonna I could probably pick that thing up, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna chuck him into another cooling tower.
All right, make an attack roll then. Just roll the straight 2d10, I think, here.
13.
Okay. Let me try this again. Did you roll any 10s? I should add.
I did not roll any 10s.
Okay. Well, you still dealt 1 point of damage more to the power plant as the mech plows into the cooling tower. It's not it doesn't explode, but it does a lot of damage to that structure. All right. But you made a lot of noise. Security forces are running around, but they basically can't do a whole lot to you. They're basically just security forces and just power plant personnel are out running around, shouting and evacuating for the moment. But no one's then. But the mech from the highway is about to arrive, and where it will be there. It's on the other side of the plant, and it's probably spotted you by now because you've made a big ruckus.
All right. I will try to hide again behind one of the still hot structures.
Okay. Yeah. So make a stealth roll then. 2d10
right,
plus 2. No, 3d10 because of deceptive. Sorry, I just added it wrong.
$12.
12. So let me just put this here. The dice are hot. So you hide behind one of the damaged cooling towers because there's actually you damaged more than one almost all three main cooling towers, and the others aren't really big enough to hide your mech. However, so you're hunkered down behind it as the mech from the highway arrives, and it is it seems to appear your preliminary scan detects a missile in the air launched from that mech. So it's like a guided missile that's circling around, but not very high payload, so it won't do much damage.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's probably just a slug. So it's just it's a missile that doesn't explode, basically. But it's homing in on you. Yeah.
All right. Can I burst my way through into one of the cooling towers so it hits a cooling tower as well?
Yeah, you could try to do that. I think that's probably you're going to make an engineering check there. So
okay.
You're going to roll 2d10 and add your engineering score, which is 7.
Yes. 17.
Okay. So yeah. So the any 10s, by the way?
No 10s.
Okay. You're not very lucky, but you managed to, you're doing all right though. As you bull rush through the tower, easily making through the outer layer, and you're inside it because it actually on the inside it's actually kind of like it's like a shell and it's more or less covering your mech, but you've wrecked most of the interior.
Mm-hmm.
And then the missile impacts on the other side. Actually, it bursts through, and I'm going to see if it makes an attack roll here because it is actually going to hit you. But it was it's diminished movement from punching through the armor through the side of the tower makes it basically harmless, and it just kind of dings off your mech. All
nice.
right, yeah. So yeah, and you've done another 2 points of damage to the power plant. We'll say there's 5 left then.
All right. Do I know where the other guy is now?
Yeah, you can see him through the hole in the tower.
Okay,
he's on the other side of the power plant, basically in the parking lot area.
Nice. I'm gonna burst through the other side of the tower and attack him that way.
Okay, so you're gonna go charge at him basically with your greatsword.
Yeah.
All right. You'll be able to get there as long as you make the check to burst through the tower.
Okay.
So 2d10.
Can I add resilient to that?
Yeah, let's say you can. So 3d10, and actually you're going to add your engineering again. So 3d10 plus 7. That's a lot. You're probably going to do this pretty easily.
That is an 18.
Okay, you get to the other side of the tower. It's not going to do any more damage to the power plant because you already wrecked this tower pretty thoroughly. Mm-hmm. But you managed to get to now you're on the other guy, the other mech, and he's got a combat blade in one hand and his missile launcher is reloading on his back. So it won't be able to fire. And now, so you're going to get up close and you can attack him. So make an attack roll. That's 2d10, both face dice.
12. No D10s.
Either of them, no 10s?
Okay. Nope.
So, you're the swing of your blade impacts with the mech, denting the side, but not cutting all the way through the armor. So you've dealt him 1 point of damage. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And he takes a swing at you with his blade. Let's see here. Comet blade pierces your hull just in one arm and does 1 point of hit point damage.
Okay.
So you have 3 left. All right. Now the other mech will arrive next turn from the north. And now it's your turn again.
All right. Well, and for a penny, I'm going to take another swing at this guy.
Do you want to use your nuclear cavalier ability to do more damage? Unless you roll, basically, let me put it this way: if you don't use nuclear cavalier and you don't roll a 10 to hit, you won't be able to kill him in this turn. All
right. Well, when you put it that way, yes.
So that's the difference there. It's pretty strong. Mm-hmm. So okay, let's see. You overheat your core by 3 points because it's a pretty big swing. But now you're going to get +1 damage if you hit.
Okay. Ah, motherfucker.
What happened?
3.
Oh, 3. Well, you missed. That's for sure. He darts out of the way, and his missile's reloaded, so he's retreating from you, and he takes a shot at you. Now that you're basically in the parking lot, so you won't be damaging the part. So he seems to have loaded a high explosive round.
All right, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna bolt back into the power plant.
Okay. He. All right. His missile did miss you with its first attack, so it's good. The missile whizzes past you, starts circling around to follow you again because it's guided ability. So now, yes, you can retreat into the power plant. Let me see. I'm gonna roll just a check to see. Oh yeah, you noticed that there was an administration section of the power plant, probably where they have the control rooms and stuff that you haven't been near before. So you can head there, or you want to go back to the coolant towers and other the actual power supply stuff.
How long is it going to take me to tap into this thing and just start it going into a 3-mile island?
Oh, it'll be another minute or two. You probably have to beat this mech. It'll be another couple rounds. Let's say 2 rounds. Basically, they should put it in game terms.
Okay.
And you wouldn't be able to fight as effectively at that point. You'd be multitasking a little bit once you start doing that.
Okay. I'm gonna hide again.
Okay, and remember, you still have a missile following you, so you're just going to take cover somewhere. Basically, it seems to be locked onto your signature pretty well. Though you could use your countermeasures to shake it if you want. That's also something you can try to do. You can do that basically as part of hiding, or you can do it without trying to hide your signature. That's the main thing.
What I wanted to do is I want to juke it enough that it will hit the power plant instead of me.
Sure. Okay. So you almost play chicken with the missile kind of thing.
Yep.
And then you use countermeasures to disable it so it flies past you and blows up part of the power plant. All right. Mm-hmm. So okay, we're making an AI check here. So 2d10 plus 4. Actually, plus 6 because you improve countermeasures.
All right. 2d10 plus 4. 19, and then
and you get another 2 from your improved countermeasures, so that's a
21.
Wow, now that's pretty good. And the missile flies past you, totally dead, and disabled as far as its tracking mechanism. Flies right over your shoulder and hits the main power relay at the center of the plant, dealing. Let me see. 4 more points of damage. So there's only 1 point of damage left on the power plant, as it blows up a significant portion of the power relay and starts fires and stuff. So most people are evacuating at this point. The mech that just shot the missile is probably feeling really upset. So it's charging at you with two combat blades drawn. Yeah.
I'm going to use my countermeasures again to just kind of because I kind of want to get into what I want to do with this mech is I want to get his targeting system or his accuracy just way down.
Okay.
So essentially, like a giant mech, running around with two blades is just going to be running into shit.
Yeah, running the scissors. Okay,
Yeah.
so so you can try to hack him. That's just AI. Just roll 2d10 and add your 4.
All right. 9.
9. That's not enough to hack him, so he's going to attack you.
Okay.
All right. He got 17, so you take another point of damage.
Okay.
As the blades cut through the mech, cut one of the muscles in the artificial muscles in your mech's arm again.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have 2 hit points left, but that's probably plenty unless you get in serious trouble here. And they only have light weapons basically, so they're not going to be dealing you a whole lot of more than 1 damage in a hit.
Sure.
So this guy's right next to you though. So you want to take another swing at him yourself or try to mislead him, basically.
What?
And the other mech has arrived at the north of the plant, so you could also try to escape because the plant's on fire now.
What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to grab this guy, not with my blade, but just with my mech arms, and chuck him kind of sumo him into the other near the other guy.
Sure. All right, that's a good idea. All right, so just make a standard 2d10 attack roll then.
That is a 10. Can I also roll for veteran?
Yes, you can do that. Yeah. So roll another d10.
Just because it's a hand-to-hand combat situation.
Yeah, it is a hand. Yeah, it's hand-to-hand.
Okay, 18.
Okay, that's better. All right, so you managed to grab the other guy. Now you should make a check to throw him, which is it's just adding your engineering ability, your engineering score to it, but just otherwise 2d10. So 2d10 plus 7, just for your benefit.
18.
All right, so 18. You managed to hurl this mech pretty far, and he bowls over. He's hitting the ground, but he smashes into the other one on the far side of the plant.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you didn't inflict any damage on either mech, but let me see just a second here. You inflicted 1 point of damage on the power plant. It's basically disabled at this point, burning everywhere, wreckage, debris. It's not really going to be functioning anytime soon.
All right, I'm fucking off.
Okay, so you can either take to the sky now, which is probably a bad idea. Obviously, you're going to be a sitting duck, or you can go back to the sea, which should take you another round to get there. But yeah, but you can sneak. I guess so. Sneaking away is also a good option, but it'll be slower.
Oh man, I just had a really
idea.
Yeah. Just kind of, because this guy, he seems like he doesn't give a shit about like anybody on this planet.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
definitely the way you've been playing him is that way.
Definitely cold, calculating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna book it to the city.
Oh no, to the city? You mean like not to the small town, but to the city? Okay.
Well, that way, they'll they're not going to be. They're expecting me to like get away from them, but I'm going to go into the city where there's more like.
Oh, there's more people and stuff.
There's more cover.
Yeah, it's more cover. Okay.
And then I'll launch into the air, and then.
Okay, sure. All right. So let's say you're making a piloting check to get to the city super fast. You can overheat to go faster if you want.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So just roll 2d10 and add your don't add it and add 7. I mean, add your.
Oh, guess who got a natural 10 on his face dice?
Nice. So you're going fast. Okay, you make it to the city before they can really recover from being hurled into each other.
Yeah. Oh, just to let you know, that would have been an 18.
Okay.
In total with everything.
Okay, so you had a 10 and a 1 though.
Yep.
Yeah, but you make it to the city, and they are actually on the highway following you because they're not equipped with the flight technology you have. So they're basically speeding down the highway or off the side, let's say, because that would destroy the highway probably. So they're outside the city, but they are still a ways behind you, and you can make your way into the Times Square type thing if you want, or just fly off from the outskirts or the downtown area, whichever you choose.
Oh, hell, why not? Let's do it from the downtown area.
So you steamroll in the downtown, bulldozing cars out of the way and stuff, or whatever they're driving these days. You're probably little hovercrafts and things. So, yeah.
Yeah, just being a bull in a china shop, just going
smashing through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna take to the air.
Yes.
Let's see. Let me just make a check for each of these guys to see if they can follow you. Well, one of them has fallen behind. The damaged one isn't moving very fast. The other one is actually maybe 100 meters behind you at this point, 100 feet, so 300 feet or so. And he doesn't appear to have a missile launcher, but he does have a rifle, so he could shoot at you if you take to the air. Or you are taking to the air, so you're flying, but you're still below he'll be able to shoot you if you keep going up, basically.
All right. Well, I'm going to circle around, weaving through through skyscrapers and like.
Oh boy, I'm having flashbacks to Man of Steel. Anyway, the end of that movie. So, and they are Men of Steel, Titans of Steel. So these, the other Titan doesn't fire because he's lost his nerve, but he tries to pursue you on the ground. But you're between your faster flight speed and your altitude, you can beat him to the upper part of the city if you're circling higher, which I assume you kind of are, or if you're weaving to go upward. So you're now you're pretty close to being out of range of him. But if you clear the buildings now, you'd still get probably at least one shot off. But he doesn't seem to be willing to shoot you if he's within, as long as you're too close to the buildings. So what do you want to do?
Is there a way I can kind of, because he's expecting me to escape right now.
Yeah, if you want, obviously, yeah. So what could you do to mess with him more, basically?
Well, yeah, maybe like
take him out.
Do I have the capability to push a building onto him?
You could push part of one onto him. Probably not a whole skyscraper, though.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Except with your greatsword, you could probably cut through you could cut a smaller building and a chunk out of the smaller building and drop it on him. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of find something like, kind of get to the side, like around him.
Or if you go up higher, you could push over like the communications equipment on top of a building. You could cut that part off the whole thing and drop it on him.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so your sword cleaves through. We're not going to make you roll for this because civilian stuff. So you cleave through basically the top, the spire, the communication tower at the top of a building, and you can hurl it like a spear now, basically, if you want.
Well, when you put it that way, yes, we have to now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed
no, that's awesome. I was just expecting it to fall on the guy, but no, I'm chucking the fucking thing at him.
Javelin hurl. Yeah.
All right, should I roll for that?
Yes, you should, and just roll. It's just a straight 2d10. Yeah.
All right, 7.
So you miss him, but. Let me see. You hit the ground right in front of him, casting up a huge amount of debris. He can't see you anymore, probably. Also, because you threw a bunch of electrical equipment at him, his scanner will be fried. Won't be able to detect you for the next few minutes.
I'm getting out of here.
Take to the sky on the wings of a bat. Oh wait, thrusters up, and so you let's have you make one more pilot check to escape their airspace before anybody can follow you.
Sure thing.
And we're going to add Deceptive to this, actually. So another D10. And
21.
21. You're out and into space again. Safely making your way back to the edge of the solar system to escape with your faster-than-light drive. All right.
Awesome.
And that does it for this session. That was pretty fun, wasn't it?
I
had fun running
awesome.
Nice and simple, right?
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes, like in a game, you just need a time to just fight things, push stuff over, and oh my god, I'm just thinking. I probably committed so many war crimes.
Oh, many war crimes. Yeah, I mean, how many? What are the civilian casualties? Do you think? Anyway, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Before or after the
But
debris
no
cloud?
one said Ambrose Singh was a good dude. No, he's a commando, harsh dude. So
Yeah. It says
those well in
choleric
character.
here, so he probably
temper,
don't give a yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been a Mooks and Monsters.
Yeah, you can find us at mentalcellarpublications.com. We have a Facebook page now. Please follow us there. We're also on Twitter. I'm at StageHat. Tim's at T Nita Writer. And we're hosted by Lipson.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and talk to you soon with more games and more fun.